Hello, my dear children. Myself Sujata. Today we learn a new poem titled as Animals, written by Walt Whitman. Before getting into the poetry, let us know about the poet. Walt Whitman was born on May 31, 1819 in West Hills, New York. He broke the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry which was in free verse. His verse collection, Leaves of Grass, first published in 1855, is a landmark in the history of American literature. He was called the Bard of Democracy and is considered one of America's most influential poets. He died on March 26, 1892. In this poem, the poet Walt Whitman admires animals for being better than human beings. The poet wishes to live with animals and to experience a life where no one complains and everyone is free of sins and sorrows. Okay, now let us read the poem together. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Here placid means quiet and calm. Self-contained means in full control of self or contented. The poet says that he wants to turn from human into an animal. This turning is symbolic of the poet's detachment from human beings and their nature, and his appreciation of the animal kind. He finds animals more peaceful than humans. He is impressed by their calmness and the purity of their mind. They are calm and have no greed for worldly things. They are happy with their lives and natural surroundings. They do not have the habit of interfering in the matters of others. He stands and looks at them for a long time. The poet feels for these two qualities in human being, that is, to be calm and self-contained. Now let us read the next few lines. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Okay, here whine means to cry. The poet is quite happy with the fact that animals never make complaints and cry about their conditions. They never stay awake in the night crying in repentance of their wrongdoings. Animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. But human beings often do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. The poet here means that since animals are so pure, they do not pray to God for forgiveness or ask God to fulfill their desires like humans. Okay, now let us see the next few lines. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. Here demented means affected with madness. Mania means madness, a kind of obsession. Owning, possessing. Kneels, bends as a sign of respect. In this stanza, the poet says that animals do not possess material things like humans and they are happy and satisfied without all the worldly things, the desire of which has affected human beings very badly. This desire to own things has been called madness by the poet. Animals are free from the habit of praying to their ancestors. When the poet says not one is respectable, he means that since all of them are equal, there is no question of respect to some and insult to others. They do not respect their 1,000-old ancestors. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. They are equal in sorrow and happiness. Okay, we'll continue with the last few lines. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Here, evince means to show. Token means impulse, which stands for virtues like simplicity, innocence, satisfaction, contentment, etc. Negligently means in a careless manner. So the poet accepts animals. For him, animals are straightforward. They show their relations to the poet. The poet responds to them positively. He accepts them as they are. They have retained all those virtues which the ancestors of the human race shared with them in the past. Animals show those tokens, that is, virtues like simplicity, innocence, satisfaction, contentment, etc., in their possession. Unfortunately, humans had lost those virtues much earlier. The poet wonders how animals still retain them. Okay, now let us look into the message conveyed through the poem. The key to happiness in life is not complaining but accepting a situation. The poet in the poem Animals laments the loss of certain values in the part of human beings, whereas animals seem to have retained them and are self-contented. In the modern civilized world, human beings have achieved a lot of material values but lost the real virtues. The more developed and modern human beings became, the more they lost the essence of their characters. Animals, whereas never adapted to any material goods and always remained natural. This natural aspect of animals has helped them maintain their values. Humans, in order to possess more and more, have forgotten kindness and innocence. The cause of the degeneration of value in today's time is the loss of the natural virtues in the life of humans. Human beings should be gentle not only to their own kind but also to everyone and everything. Virtues such as kindness bring along other important values like innocence and honesty that together make the world a better place to live. The lack of such values results in a corrupt society where people commit sins and weep over them in dark. This situation makes them dissatisfied and unhappy in life. Human beings probably had these virtues like simplicity, innocence, satisfaction, contentment, etc., but along with civilization processes, they have left them behind and adopted greed and cunningness. Okay, hope you have understood the poem. Read the poem again and again and try to find out the important poetic devices used and answer the textual exercises. Thank you. Meet you in the next session.